Alright, hi guys and welcome back. So we're in my garage right now, which is a bit of a mess, but it's neither here nor there. The reason we are in my garage is because I had a big day of forging planned to work on these tongs, and it rained like all day long. So that's one of the downsides of having a backyard forge with no cover available, is if it's super rainy, then I'm kind of screwed. So at the end of the last video, I said that, well, at first I said, I'm not making a good pair of tongs, I just want to get something done so I have it, and then I go immediately afterwards and say, no, I want to make something that is better than the last ones that I made. I want to take my time and make them good. So this is about learning. I'm trying this whole point of this channel is for me to learn to be better and be more patient when I'm blacksmithing. So like I said, I used to make knives and I used to make other things like that, and they came out good, but they didn't come out like great, you know. And I know I have the skill, I have a lot of the techniques and stuff, but I don't have the hours put into it as far as practice goes, and I haven't taken my time on those pieces as much as I should have. That being said, so in my haste creating these new tongs, they started to come out fairly well. I didn't want to do bolt tongs. I just wanted something more for flat stock, but to be able to pick up big pieces if I needed to. And I ran into some issues. So first and foremost, when I drilled the hole, I completely screwed up. So I still actually have to make that hole bigger anyway, but they're not aligned properly. Also, this one, the curve starts a little, if you look compared to the hole, the curve starts up higher, and the jaw is actually a little bit longer. So I'm gonna, basically, tomorrow it's supposed to be sunny, I'm gonna flatten that out, flatten this one out, draw them out a little bit more, and I'm gonna see what I can do as far as reshaping those and getting those back in line. And I'm also going to put a plate on the anvil and hammer on one side of this so that this actually gets shifted just slightly over one direction. Actually, this one will get shifted this direction and the other one vice versa. So that way when I bolt them together, they align. I'm also wanting to, well, part of my inspiration has been Alex Steele. So I've watched a lot of his videos lately. I've been on like a binge, just watching like everything he does at night when I'm off work. And he really has a lot of commitment to his craft, and he's a younger guy, and it amazes me how much patience he has and how perfect his pieces come out. Particularly like his Chris knife that he did, and even just pretty much every project, like he picks out every little imperfection and tries to correct them in the process. So I'm trying to take a page from his book, you know, because he's got the experience, he's got the mindset, and I think that will make me a lot better if I do that. So I've really kind of looked at these while I couldn't really work on them, and I know kind of the direction that I'm going to take and what errors I'm going to try to correct. Will I be able to do that? I don't know, but we'll find out. So anyway, like as I was saying, in his video, he makes some bolt tongs that turned out really, really well, and he had a trick for riveting that he learned from somebody else as well. And basically, you take a block of steel, you drill a hole in it, and you put one side of the rivet in just to hold it, put your tongs down on top of that, hammer the one side, then flip it over and hammer the other side with heat, of course, and that gives you a perfect rivet. So I'm gonna try to drill out a piece like that to hold the pin that I made, and the pin that I made, I just used an old Allen wrench, so I don't know if that's gonna hammer down how I thought. I might have to go back to my original idea, which I cut out, where I was going to draw out a piece of round stock and just really thin that down a lot, because I'm not going to have a huge area to be able to put a pin through, but we're going to do what we can. So I don't want to just completely scrap these and start completely over. I think I can work through the problems that I have with them and end up with tongs that I'm happy with. So that's the direction I'm going. Sorry for this lengthy introduction on this video, but I've gotta get it right. I don't want to keep doing the same thing and keep saying, hey, well, that's good enough for me, and do that. I want to go above and beyond. So that's that. All right, so we will see you tomorrow in the forge. Not in the forge, you don't want to be in there. And we're gonna make these better. Alright guys, so I've got everything set up pretty much where I need it to be. We're gonna go ahead and start. One of the first things I'm gonna do, so this masonry chisel that I've been using to cut material, I'm actually gonna bevel the opposite side and make this more into like a double-sided cutting wedge, and then I'll harden it, and I'm gonna start using that. I think that'll work out a lot better than this just by itself. So that's the first thing I'm going to do. We're going to make a tool, and then we're going to continue working on the tongs. I know this is the longest tong series in history, but I'm trying to make it decent. So, all right. Hard. Alright, so after a lot of filing and hammering, we reshaped the edge on that cutting tool. It's not perfect, but it's definitely better than it was, and it's angled at both sides now, so it's more like a blade. Then we hardened it in oil. We got a hard edge on it, so we're gonna put it off to the side and keep going with the tongs. All right, flattening the tips out of the tong. All right, that's good. Good enough. That's my stepson, Gabriel. He's helping me out today, so. Just want to show you real quick if you can see how badly I messed up when I drilled the holes the first time. I'm going to show you. So I hope you saw that, but that was my first attempt to drill the holes, and I actually thought I had it lined up. I marked it and everything, and it just was not on at all. So I'm actually going to completely abandon those holes. Instead of trying to make them bigger to the right size, I'm going to go further down and make a wider jaw for the tong. And then actually everything lines up a little bit better that way, so it'll be a better end result. Alright, right now we're drawing out the rivet for the connection. Alright, so we're back in the workshop by the drill press. Trying not to make the same mistake again, so I'm trying to be way more precise with my measurements for the holes. Got them marked out. We're going to go with a small drill bit first, then move up in size. I got some new bits. Hopefully they'll cut through the metal a little bit better than last time. I know I cut most of that out here, but so then what I'm going to do is straighten the one handle because it's still crooked, and then basically we just got to rivet them together, and then I'm going to file the ends, and I think we'll be able to beat done with the tongs. So we've made a lot of mistakes, corrected a lot of mistakes, and well, we'll see what happens. The end product will tell. Alright, so I got it drilled. Basically what I'm going to do now, and this should have been a later step, but that's okay. It's all about making mistakes and fixing them today. So I'm going to take this shoulder and try to push it back this way a little bit more. Right now it's in the way of the jaws closing. So I'm going to push that back. Hopefully on both sides I'll do that. That'll make it line up better. This handle, slight curvature, not too bad. The other one is a mess. So it goes this way and then it comes back this way. So I'm going to straighten that out as well. And then we'll work on the pin. So that's what's up next. All right, so I've got my pin drawn out. I've marked it with a file where I want to cut it. I've got our newly improved cutting wedge in the anvil. I'm going to go ahead and cut this thing, and we're probably going to try to rivet these two halves together pretty soon. I still have to straighten the one handle, but I'm going to go ahead and cut this rivet. And this worked beautifully. And the other piece of this puzzle is that I'm running out of propane. So I'm going to try to heat it in the tongs, and then I'm just going to try to do both sides kind of at the same time, I guess. We'll see how that works. All right, we're going for it. Don't do that. Just wanting to lay over on me. Not what I want. Okay. Okay. Catching the light bad there. All right. So I got something that looks somewhat like a rivet, but that's certainly not a rivet and not what I wanted to do. So they work. They're pretty well aligned. So it worked out. I've got some work to do on the ends. One's a little bit off, so I definitely have to fix that. But for the most part, it worked out. Unfortunately, I'm at the very, very bottom of my gas tank, and I don't have another tank. So, this will be another continued project. We'll have to continue on this at a later date. I still have to get the final shape in the handles. I got them pretty straight, but I need them to bend in more at the end here, and quite possibly more out up here. So it is what it is, I guess. It's how it goes sometimes when you're trying to make stuff. But I got what I wanted, at least. But the rivet was definitely need to do it the other way. But I've learned. All right, so thank you for watching. We will continue this project in another video in the what I'm now referring to as the world's longest series of making tongs. the world's longest tong series. So we'll revisit and we'll fix the handles and all that stuff. In the meantime, I'm probably going to work on some other projects. This has been fun, but it's also been frustrating. But they're definitely better than the first ones that I made, so there's that. So at least I've improved upon my past mistakes, and I've learned a lot more about making these things. So that's that. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video. Hopefully we won't be making tongs.